Hey y'all, I'm Elisa, the Scrappy Wife behind ScrappyWife.com, and today we're going to talk about how to wrangle all of those pens and markers that are taking over your craft space. All right, so over here, you're gonna see three different examples of how I store some of my markers. First of all, I happen to really love these pieces. These are just ceramic. They're actually plant holders from Hobby Lobby. They're made for like your little succulents and things like that. I think they are so perfect. You can even see this one was on clearance. I think they're so fun. They're a pop of color. I love them. So I keep a lot of my pens in here. I have Sharpies, I have my Papermate flares, and then these are Papermate Flare Metallics, which are lots of fun. I love having them in these bins. I used to line all of my bins up all across the front of my old craft desk, and it worked really well for me. I did eventually decide that I wanted to store some of my pieces horizontally, and so that's why I invested in these. These are actually acrylic, clear acrylic bins and drawer sets from the Container Store. Yes, that means they're a little bit pricier, so take that into account. I like these sets. These are like these little cubes. They're super cute, very functional. This is actually two different sets, so you can have them organized like this. You can also turn them and put them this way so they can, let me show you, they can stack in a vertical way. So you can take out the drawers, and then you can turn this vertically and they fit in here just like this. So that is another option for a way to store that. So it kind of is versatile in that it works with your space. What I like about this, one of the best parts about this is that when I'm putting pens away, let me show you right there. When I'm putting pens away, I can actually just slip it through the hole, which I kind of dig. I know that seems like the lazy way out. You know, why can't I just open the drawer and put the pen away? But when I'm quickly doing a cleanup, I totally dig that. So there are where I store my Arteza pens. I have friction pens. I have some Jane Davenport kind of paint pens, all my Micron pens. Truthfully, I feel like this set should be on top. I like getting to mix and match where they all go. So that is one option from the Container Store. Another option that is really nice are these particular drawers. These are, again, another set of clear acrylic. This is where all my acrylograph drawers are. These are super shallow, which is really nice. You can pull out the full drawer. Makes it really easy to grab what you're looking for. Sometimes I struggle with getting them back in easily, so that's just something to consider. But they're really versatile and they hold all of these kind of paint type pens in that more flat position, which works out really well for those. Can you tell that I don't like to have my pens in drawers? This is a new storage solution. I actually made this storage solution with my Glowforge, which is kind of mind-blowing. I can't believe I put this together. I made this one out of clear acrylic. I could make it out of anything. Acrylic ended up being a little bit more expensive. Like my husband asked when I was done, he was very excited for me and how I had created these. And he said, "Is that cheaper than it would have been to buy it at a store?" And I said, I don't think so, but it's still cool that I made it. So this is really nice because it's holding them in that kind of horizontal. It's a little bit of a diagonal. And then you can just see all of the different colors. I like to divide my pens by the brand. There are people that like to organize pens and markers by color, like strictly rainbow color, and they'll mix up all of the different brands. That doesn't really work for me. I like to know what brand I'm grabbing for. So this is where I have all my lettering ones over here, including my Tombow. And then I have my mild liners, my Jane Davenport mermaid markers, all of these over here. I actually want to make a third one. This is a different acrylic piece that I just had in my stash. I would love to make a third one and have it right here and have this kind of be like a wall of pens. I will see if I can find something similar to this on Amazon and link it for you guys. I just like how this takes use of vertical space. That's usually very important in a craft space. Stacking things on top of each other, being able to take use of that vertical space is really, really important. So that's something to consider as you're selecting your pen storage. And then I really like acrylic pieces. Obviously, it's my style in my craft room. It's not everybody's style. And this one makes it easy to grab. Even though they're horizontal, I can see all of the caps really easily, and I can easily grab the color that I'm looking for and then easily slip that back in. So that is a big plus for me because I want to be able to find what I want fast, and I don't want to have to search through a lot of different things, dig through bins, pieces like that. So this makes it super easy for me to find what I'm looking for. If you prefer to have your pens and markers in a drawer, there's always the option of using just pieces like this. This is actually a clear piece from the Home Edit collection from Walmart. And these fit in drawers, and it's a great way you store your pens horizontally. You can pull out a full bin, things like that. That could work really well. My one complaint about something like this, or just something I consider, is that it's a little harder to find the color you're looking for. You're having to kind of dig through. Oftentimes, if I have something like this, I have to take them out to find just that pink that I was looking for. So that's not my favorite. Is that a reason to not use these bins if that is what is most functional in your space? Absolutely not. I'm just sharing with you the reasoning behind why I prefer to have my pens out and just a little bit more accessible in some of the drawers I have. Now, those little bins that I have that are drawers that are cube size, let me go pull one of those. I do run into that same issue. I can't easily pick out the one I'm looking for. I do end up having to take a few out to find just that special pink. So what I put in here, normally I have less in here. And also these are pens that I don't use that often. These are markers that only get used every now and again. And so I don't mind as much. My most used markers are the ones that are in that diagonal storage that I made with my Glowforge so that I can easily access them. So just like any other piece of your creative space or your organization, you need to consider how often you use things and how accessible they need to be. If you have a set of markers that you like, you want to keep, but you don't need all the time, then there's nothing wrong with storing it in something like this, in a closed case, in a pencil case, something like that, that you pull out from time to time. If they are your favorite markers, your go-tos, your mild liners or your Tombos or whatever it is you like to use on a regular basis, then it might be worth it to create a system that is just a little bit easier to get to for those. All right, this is something else I want to share, and this is a great solution, especially for those of you that have smaller spaces or those of you that like to move around your house and work in different parts of your house, which I know is pretty common. Maybe you want to take your planners and work up in the dining room. You don't want to be in your craft space, or maybe you want to sit on the couch. This is an excellent option. So this is actually a pen folio from Erin Condren. It is big. She is not small, that's for sure. This is super large. I'm guessing, geez, this is probably 11 by 14 at least, if not a little bit bigger. But here is what it is. It is a fold out folio, you guys. It is nice. You have all of these different loops to store markers, lettering pens, things like that. Pocket here for a couple of little tools, more markers and pens right here, more right here, and then you have some little pockets and then a pocket in the back. This works great if you are working with an Archer and Olive journal or something. You want to stick the journal here. You have some lettering pages, a few stickers to stick here, and then all of the pens you plan to use. It works great with your planner. It is big, but it holds a ton of markers. This is where I used to keep all of my lettering tools. All of my calligraph markers from Archer and Olive were in here, as well as some of my Tombow lettering pens. And this is what I would grab for when I was looking for something to letter with. It was nice because everything was really organized. You could easily flip and find the color. You could easily see all the colors you have, which was really nice. You can also turn it this way so that it, flips in and out. It worked really well. When I moved down to this craft space, I decided I wanted my calligraphs out. So I stopped using this, but it's also just good to travel with, especially if you're going on one of those kind of vacations where you do want to do a little crafting, you want to have a little fun, and you want to pack some of those markers with you. It's a great way to keep them organized and protected. All right, just one last little solution. A pegboard is always a great solution. I am obviously a huge fan of the pegboard, and I actually use these little mason jars. So these are just regular mason jars. They have wire twisted around them. I think they're actually meant to hold like candles for display, like lit in a tree or something like that. But they work really, really well for the colored pencils that I have. And so hanging things on your pegboard in your space, it's a really versatile piece, you guys. It's going to work really great, and I'm just a huge fan. There's all kinds of different ways that you can use your pegboard, and storing your pens and markers is definitely one of them. All right, I hope this little peek at my pen and marker storage was helpful for you. Like I said, we all have to come up with different storage solutions for our spaces. Every space is different, but things to consider: how often you need to get to that pen or marker, how you want to organize them, color and brand. Do they need to be stored horizontally or vertically? You can always check on the manufacturer's website and they'll have suggestions, or the designer, or you can always ask me and I'll let you know. Anything that is like paint-based, has acrylic paint in it, has almost like a liquid fluid to it, I would think horizontally is probably the best way to go for most of those. Let me know in the comments below which storage solution was your favorite. Which ones do you like to use in your creative space? And we'd love to hear from you. We'd love to hear your suggestions. I will link things down below. Like I said, this piece is made with my Glowforge, but I will see if I can find something similar from Amazon and link that in case you're interested. All right, I hope that you have a fabulous day. And as always, keep it creative.